His theories weren't based on any church dogmas or ritual. They were revealed to him by nature herself. He recognized God in the world, and the world in God.
From what we can see of God's work, we can conclude that he is present in every part of space.
Ask his girl to deal with this, will you?
So, these powders 6 times daily and 6 bowls of the tea. If the powders don't work, we'll try another enema.
One day this will be the end of me.
Oh, come on. We'll put that day off for a long time yet.
It's a bad man who doesn't know how to die. I've known that since I was a boy of 15. My only regret is that I've done so little for art.
Ludwig, as far as all that's concerned, forgive me, but you could leave us today.
I do have some very different things in mind.
Beethoven's new focus on a very personal spirituality coincided with the elevation of his royal patron, Archduke Rudolf, to the position of Archbishop. Rudolf represented the old enlightened regime of his uncle, Emperor Joseph II, a lost golden age compared to the repressive order of modern Vienna, and for Beethoven, Rudolf's forthcoming enthronement represented a profound personal opportunity.
Your Highness, Ludwig. If a mass composed by me is performed at the ceremony, then it'll be the most glorious day of my life. But I must be able to use your library day or night. True church music. What is that? All the older composers, only Sebastian Bach and Handel, had what we might call genius. But I want to go much further back than that, to the ancient music of the monks.
In writing what became the Missus Solemnis, Beethoven's intention was to create not just an articulation of faith, not just a glorification of the truth, but a musical presentation of what the Mass really meant to him.
He went on an exhaustive search to find the right musical materials to express the fundamental truths of the Mass text. Midway through the Creed, for example, he went back to a thoroughly ancient musical model.
Not only is Beethoven deliberately conjuring up the sound of Gregorian chant, he's also working with an ancient musical mode. This is a D minor scale. Here it is again, with no black notes. That is the Dorian mode, a language almost totally unknown in Beethoven's time, except to a handful of scholars. For Beethoven, this sweeping away of musical convention is almost like a ritual purification through which he presents an intensely personal obsession with faith, mortality and immortality. Listen to what he does on the line Homo factus est and was made man. We leave the archaic world of the Dorian mode, returning to a glorious D major.
Moral law within us. Starry heavens above us. Immanuel Kant.
In creating the Missa Solemnis, Beethoven, knowingly I think, is making a lasting bequest to the world. It's not arrogant or presumptuous, but it is nonetheless a monument to himself and his immortality. And to me, there's one moment in this vast work which is especially important. It's the great fugue at the end of the Credo section when he sets the text, "I wait for the life of the world to come."
This music is borderline unsingable, and that is the point. He creates, through the nigh-on impossible, a palpable sense of striving beyond what any of us can afford to give. In composing this affirmation of faith, Beethoven quite literally pushed himself to the brink.
Beethoven had such belief in the human spirit and for the moral elevation of every member of the human species. That was the thing. Now, some people complain that he had too high an opinion of himself and too little of his fellow men, but those of us who counted ourselves among his friends knew that what he wanted was to rise above the sordidness of life, and through his music, to bring the rest of us with him.
Ludwig. He was well into his 50s by then, of course, and known throughout the city as the most famous musician in Europe.